Hola and welcome to Lindita's Kitchen. I am Lindita. Today I've got a special show for you because I'm going to be making a variety of different recipes that have chicharrones. And that was a favorite of our families. My dad, my papi, he loved it. And today I'm going to show you, our three favorites. Okay, so I'm going to start with the main ingredients. And this recipe, let me tell you, it's inexpensive and it's easy and it's so delicious. So all you're gonna need is your chicharron, and we're gonna take it over in a little bit, but some of the real ingredients that you need in here, not just real, but some of my favorite ingredients, of course, are an onion and jalapeno. You can use a serrano, pepper. Serrano peppers are a little on the hot side. My dad loved them, okay? He loved them. He could eat them just like that. I can't. And I love my jalapeno. So I'm gonna cook it up with this. So we're gonna start with one onion, okay? The yellow onion, I'm gonna cut it in half, and it's a medium size, okay? So this is what you need. And we're gonna cut it long length, okay? So we're gonna just chop it up. Oh, yeah. Oh, and Ian loves his onions, right?
Love them.
Hey, that's my boy. Yeah. So you'll need one onion for this. Okay, and we're gonna toss this in here. See, it breaks apart. So that's what we want for this recipe. Just like that. And like I said, jalapeno. And you can use whatever pepper that you like, but for this recipe, this is what I'm asking you to get, is a jalapeno. Because I don't want you to have your head pop off. My dad loved it. He loved. He's up in heaven right now with my mamacita, and she used to make this for him. Oh, yep. So put these aside, and like I said, we're gonna use one jalapeno, and you can remove the seeds. I would recommend that, if you're gonna be feeding it to the family, right? The little ones, you want to just remove some of the seeds. You can, and I do love to keep some in there, and they're not so hot. Just they're not that hot. So we want to take out some of the lining right in the middle, the little vein. Hey, do you see that one pop out? I know, popping. Yeah. So what you'll need to do is just go ahead and just strip these. And then we're going to just chop them up a little bit. Okay. Así. Get them together. And then when you serve it up later, when we do the presentation, we can do little pinwheels too. It just makes it look pretty too. But in the dish, you want to just go ahead and chop these up. Now see, we're just gonna put it all together. A couple seeds in there. Now we're gonna take it over to the range and put it all together. Let's go. So we've got 6 ounces. It's like a 6.25 ounce bag that I'm using of the chicharron. And so what you want to make sure is that you break them up. You break them to like almost bite size, because they do kind of swell up a little bit, and get thicker, and you don't want that. So we're gonna just make sure that we break these up, and you don't need any oil or anything. Just toss them in the skillet, and this is a 12-inch skillet that I'm using. All right, this looks pretty good. I might break some up later if I need to. Oh, yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add, perfect, a little bit more here. So we're gonna go ahead and add about 3.5 to 4 cups of water, just plain water. So we're gonna just pour it over, and it'll start popping here, crackling. You just want it to cover over the top. Just like that. Perfect. And we're gonna add 1 can of the diced, and I'm using the petite diced tomatoes. Okay, so let me turn up the heat here. Just a little unto like a little medium heat. You'll hear them cracking. Okay, so we're gonna add, it's 14, like a 14 and a half, 14.5 ounce can of the petite diced tomatoes. You can use fresh too. I know Chabelita, my sister, uses the fresh, and I just found that this was a little bit easier. And then we're gonna add the tomato sauce. It's 8 ounces. I wanna mix that in there. This recipe is so, it's it's so affordable to do, I think that's why my mom and dad, they love this. And she would make this up for him, and he just couldn't have enough. We're gonna toss in our onions and our jalapeno. Perfect. Oh, this one got a little full here. Let me break this up a little bit. Let's mix them up. We love our onions, right, Ian?
Oh, yeah.
You got that? Oh, yeah. Perfect. We're going to add a little bit of cilantro, just for right now, a touch. And I'm going to add a little bit more later, for our dish. Now I'm going to bring it up to like a boil, like a medium boil. And this is going to cook up for like about 20 minutes is what you'll need. So meanwhile, we'll let that start cooking and bring it up to a nice little boil, and then we'll crack it down. Perfect. Just like that. And let's get started on our frijoles, our beans. Frijoles, ooh, you gotta have them, with or on the side. So what you're gonna need for this recipe is 1 pound of your frijoles. And what you want to do is you want to pull out, you want to make sure you pull out the halves, and sometimes they have like little stones in there, and you want to make sure that you clean them pretty good. Actually, this is really good. There's only a couple in here that aren't that bad. Oh, this is perfect. Look at that. So you pull them out, that's all. And this was one of my jobs when I was a little girl, and I'd be at my abuelita's house too, and I'd be like having to clean the beans. And I'd go, and she had a big stack of frijoles on the side, on the corner, in one of those sacks. And so I'd get my little bowl, and then I'd bring them over to the table, and we'd talk, have our daily, our morning talk conversations, and see what was happening. So this brings some wonderful memories. Yep, here we go. There's no little stones in this one. This is perfect. So now what you want to do is just want to gather them, and we're going to rinse them. Okay, I hope I don't spill too many of them. Étale, I think I got this down. So we're going to rinse them really well, and we'll get them going on the pot. And I've got the ingredients actually that I'm going to be using for this. We're using the pork, the salty pork. I call it salty pork, but it's salt pork. And this is 12 ounces. And for this recipe, you just need a half. So, you need 6 ounces, and that's it. Some comino and some garlic. All right, I'll get these rinsed, and we'll head over. I want to make sure you rinse them, really clean them really well. Oh, there's another little half in there. They'll pop out when I put them in the water too. So let's get them nice and clean. Así. Frijoles. Ooh, my chicharrones are doing really well. Oh, they're cooking up. I can smell these awesome aromas in here. Now, let's head over to our little beans over here. They're nice and rinsed. And I've got about 8 cups of water in here. And what you want to do is just add your frijoles. Right, like that. They're nice and clean. I'm going to stir it up a little bit like that. And what I'm using is, like I said, 6 ounces of the pork. The salt pork, toss that in there. And 2 cloves. You can mash them down or something, but you don't have to. Just let them go to town. And then we're going to add a half a teaspoon of the cumin, the ground cumin powder, powder. Oh. Spice. Okay, that sounds good. All right. Stir it all up. And we're going to cook these up, bring them to a nice boil, and then we're going to cook them for like 2.5 to 3 hours. I didn't soak mine. And a lot of times, you know, on the package it does say you can soak them overnight, and I didn't. So as you can see, we're going to let them cook, and they'll be ready to go in no time. I'll show you in a bit. My chicharrones are done. So I'm going to set these aside. Just let them sit. Let them cook up a little bit longer. And, you know, like I showed you earlier, the prep. You know, what you wanted to do to make your beans, your frijoles. So for time-wise, I just want to tell you that I did start with the pot of my beans. And these already have been cooking for 2.5 hours. So what I want to say is, if you want to have the beans to be part of this recipe, start with the beans first, okay? That happens. But it's showtime, right? So now that our beans are done, okay, they've been cooking up. Ooh, mira, look how beautiful they look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little oil. And this is the bacon. When I make bacon, I always put some aside. And you can use, you know, a vegetable or corn oil or an olive oil. You know, it's your preference. So I'm just going to coat the bottom just like that. Just coat the bottom. And then we're going to add our frijoles. Okay, you want to just take as much as you want. Ay. Oh. The aromas in here are incredible. You're going to see what I'm talking about. Oh, yep. And I'm going to leave some, because I also like some for later. So I'm going to just leave some for me. You can do that for yourself. So now that the beans are kind of cooking up, you want to then mash them. Mash them up. And we can add more beans if you want. So. Mash them nice and good. And they're cooking at right now almost like let's go with a medium heat. Get that workout in, Basma people. All right, I'm gonna grab a little bit more of the juice from my beans here. Perfect. So let's cook them up a little bit more. Get them nice and soft. Let's see, we're gonna cook them up. Let me add a little bit more of my bacon gold, is what I call it. And this was actually 4 tablespoons of the bacon. Perfect. All right, I'll show you in a bit how refries look. Yum, yum. Okay, so they've been about 5 minutes, and you want them just to kind of stick together for your refried. Just like that. And now I'm going to add some more love right here. I'm going to add about 1, 2, 3, 4. Lindita's salsa. Give it some color, some flavor. Ah, mira. Look how it just turned to love. Perfect. Just like that. Yum. Okay, this looks beautiful. You want enough to make like for a soup and for a smother and for a side. So all you need is some fresh tortillas. We'll get those warmed up, and I'm gonna do a little egg on the side, and we're gonna serve it all up. Okay, let's do it. I wanna say a shout out to my brother Freddie and my sister Chabelita for this awesome recipe. We talk about recipes that my parents really enjoyed, and this is one of their favorites that we came up with. And my daddy, Papi, he used to love it just with his breakfast, just like this. A side of eggs and frijoles, and serve it up with some, a little soup, you know, at lunchtime, and smother it over your bean burrito. And that's all you have to do. So what I use for these are the pork cracklings. Real easy. So you can just get them at your local grocery store. And I just want to make sure that you use this because this is what I used. And again, thank you for joining me here today and for enjoying all our recipes. And hey, if you want to sprinkle on some more love with Lindita's, go right ahead. Just like that. You can go to linditasalsa.com. Enjoy, mis amigos. Until next time, salud.